Hey there, friends. So today we are working on dividing fractions by whole numbers or whole numbers by fractions. So I have put a couple of things for you to think about before you start approaching these three problems. We have done problems like this in class, so this really should be just a review for you, but it probably has been a while. So I have put the success criteria chart here, so we'll read through that. So it says in this lesson, you'll be solving real-life problems dividing fractions. The first step is to think about your unit fractions. Unit fractions are any fraction that has a numerator of 1. Model dividing unit fractions by whole numbers, or model dividing whole numbers by unit fractions. Writing that equation to go with the model, and then finally solving that word problem. What's important in these word problems is that you really think about what is being divided, and that's going to be your dividend. That's what you're going to start with. And then you need to think about, well, what is it being split into? And that's my divisor. Because friends, if you don't know what's being divided, or you don't know what it's being split into, you're going to get that division equation wrong. And then if you get the equation wrong, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. So I'm going to model two problems for you, and that should really help you take care of these three that you're going to try on your own. So the first one is Doris had 5 feet of ribbon. She needs a 1/3 foot of ribbon to make an ornament. How many ornaments can she make with the amount of ribbon she has? So again, I need to think of what I know about Doris. I know that she has 5 feet of ribbon, and it says she needs a 1/3 of the foot to make an ornament. So this makes me think I'm starting with my ribbon. So that must be my dividend. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture, start my model of what that ribbon could look like. So, okay, there's 1 foot. I'm going to try to copy the same exact size to keep it universal. Okay. There's the 2nd foot. There's the 3rd foot. The 4th foot. And the 5th foot. So again, these 5 boxes represent my feet of ribbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as talked about there. So I'm going to check that off in my thing. And then I also said I think that's what's being divided. So I'm going to go ahead and start my equation and do 5 divided by, again, if I'm cutting my ribbon, that's why that 5 is first. It says I need a 1/3 foot of ribbon to make an ornament, which makes me think these are going to be split into thirds. So let me go ahead and try to get that taken care of. I'm going to do my best to make them equal. So that one's into 3 parts. This foot I'm cutting into 3 parts. This foot I'm cutting into 3 parts. Same for the other feet of ribbon. So again, I took that 5 feet, I split that into 1/3 pieces, and then I need to make sure I know that that 3rd foot makes 1 ornament. So this 1/3 makes 1 ornament. This 1/3 would make a 2nd ornament. This 1/3 would make the 3rd ornament, and so on. So each 1/3 makes an ornament. So I'm looking at, well, how many ornaments can I make? That's what the question wants. How many ornaments? That's my goal. So far I have 3 ornaments. This would be my 4th ornament, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so it seems like I can make 15 ornaments out of my 5 feet of ribbon, because remember, each 1/3 is an ornament. It says each 1/3 makes 1 ornament. So it seems like 5 divided by 1/3 would be 15, and then I'll put my label to that 15, which would be ornaments. Okay, so if you guys remember in class, when we would do a whole number divided by a unit fraction, the answer actually got bigger because you're looking at the number of pieces. There are 15 1/3 pieces here. 15 1/3 make 5 wholes, okay? Which is why 5 divided by 1/3 is 15. Now I could check that with my multiplication. I could do 1/3 times 15 and figure out what that equals. I just showed you this in the multiplying fractions video prior to this. I could make this whole number into a fraction, put that 1 on the bottom. 1 times 15 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. Fraction bar means division, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I get back what I started with, so I know I'm right, that the answer should be 15 ornaments. Okay, so that question was a whole number divided by a unit fraction. You will see that on one of your 3 questions, at least one example for your 3 questions today. I'm going to try one more example, and then I'll let you go try your independent work on your own. So Mr. Wilson bought a bag of birdseed and put half of it in his bird feeder. He split the other half equally among his 4 pet birds. How much of the bag did each pet bird get? There's a lot going on here, so I'm going to again start a model to make sure I can see what's happening. So there is his bag of bird seed. Okay, he put half of it in his bird feeder, so I need to go ahead and split this in half. And I'll go ahead and put here, this went in the bird feeder. Okay, then, so I'm going to go ahead and also check off that first sentence because I've done that part. He split the other half, so that's talking about this half, among his pet birds. So he split this into his 4. So again, this part's already been used, but he used this half and split it to 4. So again, that makes me think his half of his bird seed, he is splitting, he is dividing to his 4 birds. Okay, so this equation would be 1/2 divided by 4. My 1/2 of bird seed is what I'm splitting into the 4 birds. So then I'm going to model that. I can split this into fourths. And again, even though I'm not using this, I still need to split this side to understand what fraction I'm working with now. If I take a half and I split it into 4, it actually becomes eighths. Okay, so then I look at, well, these go between 4 birds. So this must be bird 1s, this must be bird 2s, this must be bird 3s, and this must be bird 4. But the question just wants each pet bird. Remember, each means 1. So what does 1 bird get? So I can focus on this 1 piece right here. Bird 1 gets 1 out of 8. I'll go ahead and shade that there. Bird 2 gets 1 out of 8. Bird 3 gets 1 out of 8. Bird 4 gets 1 out of 8. So that makes me think 1/2 divided by 4 is 1/8. Another thing, friends, is like if I have half a bag and I'm splitting it into 4 parts, I know I'm going to have to get smaller. I am splitting that half. There's no way I can get more if I'm splitting it into it. So I know that 3/4 won't work because that's bigger than a half. I also know a half won't work. I'm taking that half and I'm dividing it into 4. So then that leaves me with a 1/4 and an 1/8. So y'all, this step right here that I'm doing is my reasonableness. And again, I get 1/8. So the answer must be 1/8. Okay. Now, please make sure that you think about your answer choices. Actually, you don't even have answer choices, so you really couldn't. But if you had answer choices, you do need to reason through why they're there and which ones do and don't make sense, kind of like y'all do for science. So this type of question was a unit fraction divided by whole number. So I hope that's helpful as long as for you to approach the ones that you're expected to do on your own today, which are these 3 here that I've posted in Canvas. Remember, really think about what's being divided. If you know what's being divided, writing that equation should be fairly simple, and then that will really help you understand how to model it. I also want to encourage y'all to label as you go. So, and for this model, I labeled this was my bird feeder. I probably should go back and put this as the bird seed split to birds. But labeling your models really help you make sure you're using all the information in the word problem to make sure you're on the right track. So I hope that's helpful. Again, the success criteria will be posted on Canvas. Review this video if you're stuck. If the video is still not working and you've tried it, again, join office hours 1:45 to 2:45 on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Just do your best with the submissions. I'll always give you feedback, and good luck.